we've got Zada Porter,
Eleyana
Tafisi, and Elena Pericic after today's win against Louisiana. We'll open it up for questions.
All right, ladies, 4 in a row. That one again was a little bit feisty. I just want your thoughts after that, because as I asked you on the broadcast, there was a point in the second half they closed in a little bit, right? And something changed, whether it was a message or whether it was you figured out something with how they were playing. What changed to allow you to really take control of this game again?
I really think the wins from the last games gave us the momentum of us wanting to win this game, and also the practices leading up to this game. I just thought during the locker room we have this word called chocolate, and that's kind of our calm down word. So when you guys hear the word chocolate on the court, that means us calm down, we're good, it's going to be all good, and I thought we did really good, being poised and collected.
Zada, from you? You like chocolate?
Chocolate, yes. No, I think that, there was that timeout, and they were kind of discussing things, and we kind of just looked at each other, and we was like, all right, guys, like it's our turn to put a run together. Realized they were going a lot of ISO. We knew that they were doing it, but for some reason, they were just rising above us and everything. But we really decided to make them beat us with their 3-ball. So we were just heavy gap. And I think in the first half, we kept reaching with our hands. And so they were strong, and so they were still getting their shots off. But I think we turned around in the third quarter and started moving our feet. And so we were able to get in there and get some steals. We had 25 points off of turnovers. So that was a goal of ours, was to get some transition points. So I think in that stretch in the third quarter, it was just our defense intensity kind of picked up for us.
Elena, for you, this team riding that train of success right now, really good in Sun Belt play. What is the vibe like right now, the mood, the chemistry, all of that combined with what you feel, not just in that locker room, but when you're out on the court?
Well, it's really fun. It's fun being a part of this. The team is really great. The girls, all of us are really happy with the result that we have at this point. But honestly, I'm not surprised because we were working hard every single day. And it's just everybody is bringing something new. You never know who's going to have a great game every single day. So that is really good. We have the bench. Subs are coming in. They're bringing energy. And I think it's just feeling great. It's really amazing being a part of this.
Okay, pretend Alaura's not in here. Okay? How big of a factor has she been to this point of the season, midway through the Sun Belt? What has she done for you guys as a team?
She's been amazing. She really has pushed us to our limits, quite literally. She expected stuff that we didn't know we had in ourselves, and it was just really nice that she's a part of this team and also the head coach, and I'm just grateful that she recruited me, and we're here.
Jacob Pearsall, AWN. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's very smart. She has a fantastic basketball IQ. I think a lot of what we're doing right now comes down to our schemes and how we're playing teams. And I think for a coach, that's never been in the Sun Belt before, I don't think you can tell. It's the assistant coaches, I think they do a fantastic job scouting teams. Everything that's on the paper, the other team goes out and does exactly that. So the scheme is super important, and like I said, she's smart, and so she figures out a way to break teams down, and she figures out a way for what we think that they're going to do to break us down, and we plan for that. So yeah, it's just all around really good.
Jacob Pearsall, AWN. Both Zada Porter and Eleyana Tafisi, you both had 4 assists. I just wanted to ask you, Pericic, what is it like to have 2 people that can both really run that point guard role and dish it out to you to get some buckets?
Well, what can I say? Those are free buckets for me. No, without kidding. It's been amazing playing with them, especially with E. She's really pushing the pace all the time, and you never know when the ball can come to you. So it's you always have to be ready to catch the ball, and it's just been great playing with both of them because they have a great IQ.
And Zada Porter, when I was on the sideline, we heard a lot about spacing and trying to make sure that the paint wasn't clogged. What can you say to move forward in this throughout the rest of the season, and what are you trying to do to make sure that spacing is elite?
Spacing is something that we talk about all the time. there's a lot of times where sometimes like no one wants to get caught standing, and so everybody's like so excited to cut and stuff like that. It's just all about reading the floor. I mean, at the beginning of the season, it was really, really bad, and then we kind of watched it on film, and like I said, that goes back to our coaches' IQ and stuff like that. Like they see that thing, like they see that stuff, and we fix it. But yeah, I just think that every day we're just trying to improve little by little, and by February, it will be elite because it needs to be by February.
Fran Murphy with the Appalachian. Eleyana, Jacob just mentioned you had 4 assists, but you also had 13 points just in the first half, which was a season high. So were you coming out looking to be aggressive on offense out of the gates?
Yeah. The past games I've been, thank you. The past games I've been really assisting the ball, so now teams are going to read my passes, my passes down low, and we also talked about that in practice. I'm going to have to play off of 2 fake passes is really a key in our practices, so I knew that I was going to be more open than my teammates, but yeah.
Hey guys, Trey Blake with the Appalachian. We got a question for Elena about Elena and Zada. For Elena and Zada, what's it like? Elena was 3 of 6 from 3 tonight. What's it like playing with a stretch big of that caliber?
It is fantastic.
Amazing. I could just throw the ball and start running back.
Like when you're in the Sun Belt and you're small like us and we're coming off ball screens and you look in the paint and you see someone who's 6'2" and she's aggressive and she's waiting for you to block your shot, like it's not fantastic. So when you have someone who can shoot like Elle, who plays our 5, that can space out the floor for us, and she gets people open just by being on the court because she gets a lot of focus from post players, and like that draws her out of post players out of the paint, and I mean it frees everything up. So it is fantastic to play with a 5 who can shoot the ball as well as she does.
I know you want to brag about yourself a little bit.
Do it, please.
No, I'm okay.
Does that kind of European background, not growing up in the States, growing up with a different style of play, do you think that has really benefited you coming into this system?
It definitely did, because like when I was a kid, I was really tiny. So like my coach kind of like pressured me to work on my shooting all the time. And then I just kind of grow up and start to be a big. But this was always be some of my like positive sides of playing basketball, that I can play in and out. So, I mean, it's been great playing with the teammates who can actually see that and actually passing the ball.
Last question for Zada. You kind of had that matchup with, Benedict towards the end of the game. What was that matchup like going in, close game? You know, what was your headspace like?
I think it just comes down, we talked about it in a huddle, is like you have to win your matchup, like you have to take pride in your defense, and I think that's something that I should be a lot better defender than I am, and you know I've been talking about that in my film sessions, and so like I just wanted to kind of take pride in doing that, and like I started on number 20, and then you know I switched off of her, but yeah, it's just taking pride in it. I feel like I have the ability to be a pretty good defender, and so this is my final year, so why not do it now?
Hey y'all, Zach Kellogg, App State Athletics. One thing, we are so many new faces here, and we talked a lot of the questions about chemistry. I mean, you guys right now best start in the Sun Belt in program history. What has the chemistry meant for y'all, of y'all being able to come together and really looking to mesh at the right time right now?
I think our team is just not selfish. We all want to see each other succeed, and it's way more fun than seeing other people succeed, and especially when it's in our team. So, yeah.
I agree.
All right, we've got head coach Alaura Sharp after today's win against Louisiana. Coach, if you want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
First of all, I want to thank the Special Olympics for being here today. That's a group that I used to work with in high school. That means a lot to me. So I wish I could have been out there at halftime. I'm going to have to try to find some video of that. But I want to shout out Carol Allman, whose jersey's hanging up in the rafters, for getting that together. Also, I'm not sure of the young gal's name who did the national anthem, but that's one of the best performances I've ever seen. I was almost in tears before the game even started. So really thankful to marketing to getting all that together. I'm really proud of our team. I think to start this week, I talked to them about, because sometimes are they just living in the moment? And so sometimes I think it's important for me as the head coach to big picture them. And I just talked to them about by the time we wake up on Sunday, it's all of a sudden going to be February, and it's the last month that we're going to have the opportunity to grow and get better as a team. And we have to have a sense of urgency in practice of improving the things that we need to improve and get better at down the stretch. And we worked really hard on our defense. I really challenged our team on Tuesday. I coached them very hard. We came back on Wednesday. We had one of the best practices that we've had of the year, and I thought we played some good basketball tonight. We have really struggled guarding and defending the basketball. I thought outside of those little fouls down the stretch, we got a little undisciplined, but I thought our kids really executed. Eleyana Tafisi was so aggressive. We just talked about that in her film session. We actually have only lost 2 games when she scored 7 or more points, and so we kind of challenged her that way, and I thought she really responded the right way. So great team win. Mountaineers had huge minutes. I was frustrated with her in the first half. She came to me at halftime. She's like, can you tell me what I'm doing? So we talked it over, and boy, did she respond defensively.
Appalachian Weekly News and App TV, I think the pivotal moment, all of a sudden we look up at the scoreboard and they're ahead by 1. And then you guys kind of go back and forth a little bit. Timeouts called. I asked them about this. That seemed to be the pivotal moment of this game, and they said you delivered something to them. What was that message that really turned the game around?
Yeah, I really thought we were getting out-toughed and outplayed there for a stretch of minutes. I thought it just looked like loose balls, loose rebounds. Louisiana, who's a really good basketball team. They've got great players. I've known their coach for a really long time since I've been in the business and really respect him as a head coach. And, it's kind of a full circle moment because when I was at Southern Miss, we used to see each other on the road. And so to be coaching against him is really an honor, honestly, for me. But back to that timeout, I challenged them with their toughness and not executing the game plan. I thought our defense got really extended. You saw that when we came out of that timeout, we gapped, helped, and we started turning them over. And one of our game goals, we have about 4 or 5 game goals every game, and was transition fast break points. Our game goal was 10, and we got that. We delivered that. And so, our response out of that timeout, I just think shows a lot about our team of I can challenge them. I was really hard on them, and I just, challenged them about, why aren't you executing the game plan? It's going to work if you can just get out there and execute it. And I thought we got some easy runouts, and it changed the momentum of the game.
I'm sure these guys are going to talk a little bit more about the game, but I want to know more about chocolate. What's chocolate all about?
Yeah. So Dr. Cooper is our sports psych person here at App State, and he's came and done a few different things with our team. And he did an activity with us one time and kind of challenged our team to come up with a code word of when we get off script and we start losing our mental game or losing our confidence, chocolate, to come up with a word. And so all of a sudden one day, we start hearing our team saying chocolate all the time, which I love chocolate. And then we found out that was the word that they chose, and they use it a lot. I mean, we had, I think, a turnover. Zada threw it out of bounds. You hear Rylan Moffitt stand up, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. And then I thought we glued back together.
Coach Fran Murphy with the Appalachian, you guys had 11 steals for the game, and you really turned up the defense there in the third quarter. Was active hands and getting in the passing lane something you made emphasis down the stretch, third quarter, fourth quarter?
Yeah, you must have been in our scout meetings, definitely. And to be honest with you, we have played a little more aggressive defensively the last 2 games, and I like it, but more importantly, they like it. They're dying for me to call some of our defenses that have some built-in traps and some aggressiveness to that. I'm starting to trust some of those things, and it's just great to be able. It's shocking, honestly, because there was so much to install, and we're continuing to just add little tweaks to things, and because we're old. I mean, our team is really old and smart. They've all played a lot of college basketball, so they're able to walk through things and then go out and execute it, and I'm able to kind of tweak things on the board, and they're able to go out. They complimented me about being smart, but this is probably one of the most high basketball IQ teams I've coached.
Coach, rebounding has been a big problem for the program in the last couple of years. What did you do kind of coming in, turning that focus around? Elena and Rylan, they're crashing the glass. I mean, even Elena, an outside big, a more perimeter-focused big, she's just shooting right towards the basket every opportunity.
Yeah, I was coughing. Sorry, did you say rebounding?
Yes.
Yeah. My teams are always going to rebound. It's just a focal point for us. my assistant coach, Brooklyn Taylor, had the scout for this game. Every coach kind of is divided up, and she'll go home. It'll probably take her 3 or 4 hours, and she's going to do this thing called the truth chart. And in the truth chart, we track how many times did you do your job. So certain players are supposed to crash, certain players are supposed to get back to protect transition defense. And so every time you don't go, you get a -1. Every time you do your job, you don't get one. And so you have a score, and there's other things that go in that. All of it is in our system of play. Are you getting beat top foot? Are you, assist or +2? We grade our shots, and that helps us take really good shots. We grade shots A, B, C. A C is -2 in our truth chart. And so just something that we put a emphasis on every single day. We work hard on it. We play. We kind of stopped defensive rebounding for a 2-game stretch, and I was having a conversation with Coach Kearns, and he brought up the bubble, and and we have a rebound ring, and we had practiced like 2 weeks without it, and we have not practiced without that rebound ring yet. And so our scout team, we know it's a miss. We're being physical with our box outs. I didn't think we defensive rebound very well in the first half. I thought we were really good in the second half. But if you want to play for me, you'll rebound.
Chris Tora, App Weekly News. You're talking about like mental toughness and defense, and this is your first year at App State. How has the players challenged you as a coach in coming into a program like App State?
Yeah, I think it's been such a reward, honestly. And this team's been through a lot of different things have gone on throughout the course of our season. A really tough start, and just blending everything together. But one of the hardest things for me is deciding who to play. I mean, there's so many players on the bench that deserve minutes and bust it every single day, and that has been a real challenge for me. We really lean into the analytics to make decisions, because I want to play all of them. I want to play them all the time because of their work ethic and their character and just who they are. They represent the program the right way. But I've learned a lot from this team. I think when we were really in the trenches, I think I really learned about how to teach them how to lead. I think I was asking them to do something that I really hadn't taught them, and they just didn't really know how to do. And it was just a few nuggets later, and then Tafisi and Rylan Moffitt and Emily Carver are just doing a really good job. And now you've got Zada Porter, and you've always had Sam LaFawn, and I could go down the bench and talk about people that have great leadership for us.
Hey, Coach, Zach Kellogg, App State Athletics. This weekend, Saturday, doubleheader against Georgia State, pink out. What do you got to tell the App Nation? What's your message to them? And kind of talk about what this game means to you and the team.
I love pink games. I mean, obviously it started in women's basketball to honor Coach Kay Yao, who's a North Carolina coach and one of the best to ever blow the whistle in the sport of women's basketball. And, I think cancer impacts everyone. There's no one that doesn't know somebody and love somebody that's either been a cancer survivor or lost a loved one to the terrible disease. And so I just think, raising money and helping Irene Sawyer, who's one of our biggest fans, and she is a breast cancer survivor herself. And so I'm looking forward to the Chuck-a-Duck. I've been seeing it on Facebook. But I really want our players to play to honor the survivors and the people who have lost the battle of cancer, because we have the opportunity to go play the game that we love. And I would love to see a great crowd. I want to challenge the fans to stick around and stay after the men's game. Our crowds are up. We're building this thing. We've got it headed in the right direction, and we've got a really good team coming in. Georgia State's playing really well. They just knocked off Old Dominion. And so we're going to need our crowd to come and get behind us and support a wonderful cause.
Any further questions? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody.